Our host for today is Jessley Norman. The contestants are Riley and Caroline.
Before we start the video, remember that the specific heat formula is the specific heat that represents the amount of energy required to raise 1 kilogram substance by 1 degree Celsius and can be thought as the ability to absorb heat. The units of specific heats are J/kg/K, kJ/kg degrees Celsius. Water has a large specific heat of 4.19 kJ/kg degrees Celsius. We are going to find the temperature of our water before we start heating it up. Now we are heating up the stove. As you can see, it's starting to boil. The boiling point of water is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. This lab shows that the liquid is changing into a gas. Gas is turning into a liquid by condensating on top of the lid. For our next experiment, we'll be putting ice into here to show a solid turning into a liquid.
To prove that water is the universal solvent, we're going to start by adding 5 tablespoons of water to this glass. Now I'm going to pour vegetable oil into this cup. Here I'm adding 1/4 of a tablespoon to the water. And now I am going to grab a spoon and start stirring it. As you can see, the salt is dissolving into the water. Now I am adding 1/4 of a tablespoon of the salt to the vegetable oil. As you can see, it is just clumping at the bottom, and even whenever we try to stir it, it remains clumped up and it is not dissolving. This lab proves that water is the universal solvent. The universal solvent is water because so many substances can be dissolved into water. Now we are going to be testing solutes. So first I'm going to fill both of these cups up with 5 tablespoons of water. Now I'm going to put 1/2 of a teaspoon in one of the glasses of water. Give me some flutes. As you can tell, the sugar dissolved into the water. Now I'm going to be testing to see if this Hawaiian Punch packet is a solute. As you can see, the Hawaiian Punch is a solid because it dissolved into the water. Now we are going to be testing to see if vegetable oil is a solid. As you can see, the vegetable oil is staying on the top. And even if we stir it, it is not dissolving. Therefore, it is not. I don't really know a lab for vapor pressure.
First, we will put a pan on the stove and turn the heat between medium and high. Fill 4 tablespoons of water into this and pour it into the can. Place ice and 30 milliliters of water into a saucepan. Make sure you have on all safety gear. Wait till the water boils. Once it starts boiling, place it onto the ice water. You've got to be kidding me.
Oh! It worked!
The next game we'll be playing is Cup Pong. The rules are, if you answer the question right, you get 3 balls to hit into your opponent's cups. If you land all 3 balls in, then you get an extra ball. The first player to hit all of the opponent's cups wins. What is the difference between a calorie and a calorie? What's the difference between a calorie and a joule?
1,000 calories equals 1 calorie. A joule is the work done or force expended by the force of 1 Newton.
That is correct. You now get 3 shots.
First shot.
Good shot. So close. Shot. Okay, Caroline, what is surface tension?
Surface tension is the tendency of a fluid surface which makes it acquire the least surface area possible. This is what allows insects to float on water surface.
Correct. First shot. Second shot. Third shot. Now, Riley, what is the heat of vaporization?
The heat of vaporization is the amount of energy that must be added to a liquid substance to transform a quantity of that substance into a gas. Water's heat of vaporization is around 540 calories per gram at 100 degrees Celsius.
Shot. Shot.
The boiling point is the temperature at which a material changes from liquid to gas, while the melting point is the temperature at which material changes from a solid to a liquid. The boiling point of water is 212 degrees Fahrenheit.
What are the states of matter and all of their parts?
Solid is a state of matter with a definite shape and a definite volume. Liquid is a state of matter with definite volume but no definite shape. It takes the shape of its container. Gas does not have a definite volume or shape and takes the shape of what it is in.
Go.
What does this lab show?
When we place solutes and solvents together, there is what we call the solution process. Okay.
What is the difference between electrolytes and non-electrolytes?
Electrolytes are salts or molecules that ionize completely in a solution. As a result, electrolyte solutions readily conduct electricity. Non-electrolytes do not dissociate into ions in solution. Non-electrolyte solutions do not, therefore, conduct electricity.
We're now going to play Speed Jeopardy! The rules are each contestant will have a few seconds to write their answer down and then present it to the audience.
Water terms 500.
What is molecular structure?
Molecular structure is the positioning of chemical bonds between atoms in a molecule.
Correct!
Water vocabulary 500.
What is heat of fusion?
Heat of fusion measures the amount of heat needed in order to melt a solid. Its value is 334.16 joules per gram.
Awesome!
Water words 500.
What are hydrogen bonds?
Hydrogen bonds are a chemical bond of a hydrogen atom between two atoms.
Correct!
Water vocabulary 400.
What do I mean when I say polar covalent?
Polar covalent is a chemical bond where a pair of electrons are unequally shared between two atoms.
Awesome!
Water terms 400.
Give me the specific heat formula and how to calculate it.
Find the specific heat of water. Let's take a closer look. Our word problem is how much heat is needed to raise the temperature of 20.0 grams of water by 10.6 degrees Celsius, and it gives us the specific heat of water, which is 4.184 joules per grams of degrees Celsius. I've written out here the equation to find the specific heat of water. It's Q equals MC, draw a triangle, and then T. Our mass that was given is 20.0 grams. That they gave us is 10.6 degrees Celsius. The C that they gave us is the specific heat of water, which is 4.184 joules per grams of degrees Celsius. We are trying to find the Q now. Plug in all of your numbers into the formula. Now make sure that you cross out your units. So cross out the G, and then the degrees Celsius and the degrees Celsius. Now multiply these three numbers together and you should get Q equals 887 joules.
Correct!
Water terms 300.
What is water of hydration?
Water of hydration is water that is chemically combined with a substance to form a hydrate and can be expelled, as by heating, without essentially altering the composition of the substance.
Correct!
Water vocabulary 300. Desiccants are chemicals that absorb moisture from the surrounding atmosphere and dry it out. Efflorescence is the process of losing water of hydration from a hydrate.
Water words 300.
What are suspensions? And no, not the bridges.
Suspensions are a heterogeneous mixture where particles are so large that they settle out unless stirred constantly.
Amazing, Caroline!
Water terms 200.
Are colloids?
Colloids are a homogeneous mixture of which there is more of one component than of the others.
Correct!
Water vocabulary 200.
What is the Brownian motion?
The Brownian motion is the random movement of microscopic particles suspended in a liquid or gas due to the collisions with other atoms.
Awesome!
Water words 200.
What is the Tyndall effect?
The Tyndall effect is the visible path of light produced by the scattering action, or the Tyndall effect, of the particles in a colloidal solution on a beam of light passed through it.
That is amazing, Riley. What does vitality to life mean in chemistry terms?
I'm not sure what the vitality of water is.
Oh, Riley, I'm so sorry, but that is not the right answer. Caroline, a chance to steal.
Vitality to life is giving continuance to life where water is present in all living things.
Tell us more about the uniqueness of water.
Water is unique because its solid state is less dense than its liquid state. Its boiling point is high. It is able to dissolve in many chemical substances also.
Could you tell us about a current event that describes water's uniqueness?
Wetlands store up carbon more efficiently than any other natural ecosystem.
Congrats, Caroline, you have won the water games. For your prize, you will get a brand new water bottle.